A young man spent years trying to prove he was smarter than everyone around him. In every conversation, he needed to be right. In every argument, he needed to win. Whenever someone criticized him, he became defensive. Whenever someone succeeded, he felt threatened. For years, he believed his greatest enemy was other people. Then one day, he realized something painful. The people he fought against were moving forward with their lives. He was the one trapped, not by them, by his own ego. What if the biggest obstacle in your life is not bad luck, difficult circumstances, or other people? What if the thing holding you back is something much closer, something that lives inside your mind, something that whispers, "You must be right, you must look successful, you must never appear weak"? Tonight, we're going to explore one of the most dangerous forces in human life, according to Stoic philosophy, the ego. And by the end of this video, you may discover that the person standing between you and peace has been staring back at you in the mirror all along. Most people misunderstand the ego. They imagine it only exists in arrogant individuals who constantly seek attention. But the Stoics viewed the ego as something much deeper. The ego is the false image we build around ourselves. It is the identity that constantly demands protection. It wants admiration. It wants validation. It wants certainty. It wants control. Above all, it wants to avoid anything that threatens its image. This is why even humble people can be controlled by ego. Ego is not simply pride, it is attachment to an idea of who you think you are. Imagine someone receives constructive criticism at work. The feedback is fair and intended to help them improve, yet instead of listening, they immediately become defensive. They explain, they justify, they blame circumstances. Why? Because the criticism threatens the image they have created about themselves. Their ego interprets correction as an attack. As a result, they reject information that could help them grow. The very thing that could improve their future becomes something they resist. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that he was not as important as his ego wanted him to believe. Despite ruling one of the most powerful empires in history, he constantly reflected on his own limitations. He understood that status, praise, and recognition were temporary. The moment a person becomes obsessed with protecting their image, they stop pursuing truth. They begin pursuing appearances instead. And appearances are fragile things to build a life upon. The ego loves comparison. It constantly measures who has more money, who has more influence, who receives more attention, who is more successful. These comparisons create endless dissatisfaction because there will always be someone ahead of you. No matter how much you achieve, the ego immediately finds another standard, another competitor, another reason to feel inadequate. The race never ends because the ego does not want satisfaction. It wants constant validation. Consider a man who finally buys the car he always wanted. For a brief moment, he feels proud, accomplished, successful, but then he notices someone driving a more expensive car. Suddenly, the satisfaction disappears. Nothing about his situation changed. The car remained the same. His achievement remained the same. The only thing that changed was comparison. This is how the ego steals joy. It shifts attention away from gratitude and toward competition. Another way ego creates suffering is through the need to always be right. Many arguments continue long after truth has stopped mattering. People stop seeking understanding and start seeking victory. Conversations become battles. Every disagreement becomes a threat. The ego interprets being wrong as weakness. Yet the Stoics believed wisdom begins when a person becomes willing to admit mistakes. Growth requires humility. Without humility, learning becomes impossible. Ego also creates fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection. Why? Because failure threatens the image we have created. Many people avoid opportunities not because they lack ability, but because they fear looking foolish. They protect their pride instead of pursuing growth. Ironically, this protection often prevents the very success they desire. The ego chooses comfort today and sacrifices progress tomorrow. Epictetus taught that people suffer not because of events themselves, but because of their judgments about those events. Ego shapes many of these judgments. A simple mistake becomes humiliation. A rejection becomes proof of worthlessness. A disagreement becomes a personal attack. The event remains small, but the ego magnifies it. As a result, unnecessary suffering is created in without exaggeration and weaknesses without denial. Humility creates learning because it removes the need to appear perfect. Once you stop protecting an image, growth becomes easier. You no longer need to pretend. You can focus on becoming better instead. Imagine removing the ego from your daily decisions. How many arguments would disappear? How many fears would weaken? How many opportunities would become possible? The ego often presents itself as protection, but in reality, it frequently becomes a prison. It traps people inside fragile identities that require constant defense. The more tightly you cling to that identity, the less free you become. The next time you feel offended, defensive, jealous, or desperate to prove yourself, pause and ask a simple question. Is this wisdom speaking, or is it my ego? That single question can reveal more than you imagine, because peace rarely comes from winning every battle. It comes from realizing which battles are not worth fighting. Let go of the need to impress. Let go of the need to always be right. Let go of the need to prove your worth. If this message helped you see yourself more clearly, make sure you subscribe, because subscribing is free, and the next lesson may arrive exactly when you need it most.